Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is just a quick post-Christmas unboxing video, as well as a little bit of a vlog. I'm not planning on making this too lengthy. I'm going to save more of my Christmas haul that I got from a bunch of different places for a new Physical Media Madness to open up 2025. But I did want to do a video giving a very special shout out and special thanks to Jonathan for sending me a Christmas package, and also to all of you, all of the subscribers, old and new, anybody who is just leaving a comment on this video, or sharing some kind words, or just watching and not even leaving a comment. I appreciate all of you immensely, and I just really want to make that very, very clear and very evident as much as I possibly can. And it's not just the people who have been generous enough to send in paid requests or send gifts. I mean, just words of encouragement, just comments that feature some nice things that people have decided to take the time to say about what I do. That means every bit as much to me as anything else. So I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a incredibly wonderful New Year. So the uh, the Christmas package that Jonathan sent me featured a few 4Ks. So first one, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Uh, Definitely wanted to get this for my collection because I'm a fan of this one. I only had it on Blu-ray, so really glad to get the 4K from Scream Factory from Jonathan. So really appreciate that. Um, he also sent me this, which I really like Richard Pryor. I think he's a hilarious, amazingly talented comedian. But I've never really thought that a stand-up special would really be that worthy of being put on a 4K. But I have to admit, I was curious about it because I'm a fan of Richard Pryor, and this is a great special. This is a really good special, and it's in Dolby Vision. I didn't watch the entirety of it, but it looked really good. So I mean, maybe I'm wrong. And also this film came out in theaters too. So it seems like there's a little bit more to it than your average stand-up special in terms of its visuals. Then he also got me The Exorcist. This is the Warner Brothers release. I know a lot of people don't like this cover art. I don't mind it. I think it looks kind of cool and different, and I don't really have a problem with the cover art. I never really thought it was that bad compared to other people. Um, what is bad though is there's like the whole exorcism scene looks off because of some ridiculous nonsense revisionism that was being done by Friedkin before he died, and it just led to everything just looking all wonky and weird, and the quality drops. But other than that scene, or portions of that scene, I've seen the 4K transfer before, and it looks really good. It's got a superior sound mix compared to the previous Blu-ray release of this film. But the problem is it doesn't port over all the features from that release. So if you don't have that release of the movie, you're not getting all that stuff ported over here. You have to hold on to it. So I'm going to keep my 3 disc set for that reason alone. And then he also got me this Taxi Driver. This is the collector's edition steelbook of the film. It's a really nice looking release. Definitely a release that I am really happy about. I'd had it on my wish list for a while. For I think at least like a couple years. This was only available on the Sony Columbia Classics set, like the first one that came out that had stripes in it. And then that went out of print, and then it was really hard to get Taxi Driver in 4K until Sony wisely decided to sell the film separately, but only as a collector's edition steelbook. There is no basic standard edition of this, as far as I know. And it looks fantastic. Definitely the best the film has ever looked. So yeah, huge shout out yet again goes to Jonathan for sending me those gifts. And he also has a little bit of a letter here. I'm just going to skim through it. So he's wishing me a Merry Christmas, talking about living in Belen instead of in Albuquerque. Talking about how it's been a pretty nice year. He mentions, something about Latinx in the Blue Beetle review that I did. I only just threw that out there, like, because that just popped in my head because that's what I've been, that's the kind of stuff that they've discussed on, other forms of media in terms of how to, discuss or talk about, Latin people. And, I didn't really mean anything by that. So I apologize if that offended you. Like, that really wasn't the intention. I will definitely consider, not to use that in the future. Um, um, then he continues, talk about Disney and some other stuff and all these other sort of things about, how DEI stuff and woke films and stuff are not doing well. Now he's talking about some other requests. And he asks, like, do I think both August Underground 1 and 2 with Skinamarink are not films? Yeah, I agree. They're barely what I would consider to be much of anything, let alone films. Skinamarink, my worst movie of 2023. August Underground, a worst of 2001. Is Mortem a worst of 2003? Maybe I'd have to look at a list of films from those years to really say for sure. Talks about Terrifier 2 and 3. I would say 2 is definitely one of the better films I've seen from 2022. And the third film, I'd say, was one of the better movies from 2023. Thanksgiving 2. He mentions that. Ready or Not 2. Scary Movie 6. Final Destination. We don't really need any of that. I agree with that. I definitely agree with him when he's talking about like new franchises, like Terrifier and Thanksgiving. Then he talks about the Chucky TV show and how much of a flop it is. Talks about the Elm Street remake. Really talking about a lot of the horror IPs, from the past and how they should, remain in the past. And in a lot of ways, I do agree with that to an extent. I definitely do agree that a lot of these franchises should definitely rest in peace. And be a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. I mean, maybe that might be okay. Definitely have a lot more faith in that than the Return of the Living Dead movie that's going to be coming out, if that even comes out. Because Damien Leone is behind it, and he's a really talented director. And Silent Night, Deadly Night is something I think you can definitely, do a new version of and it'd be fine. I mean, the remake from the 2000s wasn't that bad either. I think it was in the 2000s. It might have been a 2010s film. Been a while since I've seen it last, but I do remember liking that. All Dogs Go to Heaven, one of my favorites in 1989. I mean, sure. I mean, not top 10, but if it had a big list of that, I wouldn't mind putting it on there. Same thing for Return to Oz. Would love to see a 4K of that, but I don't know if that's ever really going to happen. Um, Little Shop of Horrors in 4K from Scream Factory. I think that's probably going to happen because they did Dark Crystal and Labyrinth recently. Is Mortal Kombat 2 my worst in 1997, or is it Pest and Steel or Ernest Goes to Africa way worse? Yes, the Pest, Steel, and Ernest Goes to Africa are way worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That movie sucks, but well, I mean, Steel, I would say is better. But the Pest and Ernest Goes to Africa, both of those are worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I don't like Annihilation. Um, is Kiki's Delivery Service one of the weakest anime movies I've seen? One of Miyazaki's weakest. I need to see more of his filmography to really say if it's like his weakest, but it's one of the weakest ones I've seen for sure. And I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just not. It's just kind of there for me personally. Um, I Saw the Devil. I would say yeah, it's one of the favorites. One of my favorites of 2010. Is Seed my worst of 2007? I don't know. I'd have to look at a list of that. Same thing for Fantastic Mr. Fox being, best of 2009. Is Alien 3 The Last Jedi of its time? Yeah. It was The Last Jedi before The Last Jedi. Um, Interesting. Victorian Terrifier 1 looks like Jason from Friday the 13th when he was drained in toxic waste. She does. She looks like a melted Cabbage Patch Kid, just like Jason did in that movie. Hope you enjoy these gifts as they look fantastic in 4K. Thank you, Jonathan. I definitely will. And I'll get to some of your other requests soon as well. Probably Garfield Christmas, A Christmas Horror Story, and the New Year's stuff like Last Night and Terror Train. As for other requests made by other people, I am really putting my nose to the grindstone, so to speak, and I'm going to be pumping out as much as I possibly can before the end of this month and the end of the year. Some of your requests might wind up being done within the first couple weeks of January because just have a lot of stuff that I'm trying to fit into my schedule right now. Now things are settling down at work, so I have a lot more free time to try to catch up on all of these requests. I apologize for all the delays. Hopefully, what I ultimately do provide you is worth the wait for you. Um, but yeah, I haven't forgotten anything. In fact, I already have some stuff planned out in the near future. Got a couple more stuff for Patreon. I got the Neil Breen movies that were requested from Thomas, and more stuff from Bronson as well as others. Sean, there's some more stuff for him as well as Brock, and I'm definitely gonna get to all of it. It's just gonna take me a little bit. And yes, a lot of them were Christmas stuff, so you're gonna honestly see me talk about Christmas movies for at least a few days, as well as a few other things. And in terms of anything else, I want to mention real quick. I mean, I don't really. I mean, I'll just do. Well, I would honestly. I don't really have anything because I'm gonna save my thoughts on upcoming releases on 4K for the next Physical Media Madness, and I'll save my thoughts on anything in terms of like new trailers or some of this other stuff when I want to do another Talking Cinema. So I don't really have a whole lot to say on that front. Um, I guess maybe I could just kind of briefly kind of talk about 2024. I mean, I have not gotten as much done as I really wanted to this year. I really wanted to get more videos done. I wanted to do more stuff that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a little bit more ambitious with my content on the channel, but it just didn't work out that way. I think a lot of it was I had more free time because I wasn't working two jobs anymore, but I just there was just a lot of like lacking the motivation to, put all this extra effort into writing scripts and doing all this other stuff, and just kind of fell back into some old habits, and just decided to, play it safe. Um I'm going to try to do some more ambitious stuff in 2025, and I'm not getting any younger, and there's stuff that I would like to experiment with while I still have this platform. And I have a lot of things in mind for 2025, and a lot of it is doing more of the content, more of the reviews of films or shows that I really, really want to do. Because I think I did make the time and I did some of those videos this year, but there's a lot of stuff that I haven't gotten to. And I've been trying to get to for years, and it just keeps getting put on the back burner because of other things. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick little video, do a little unboxing, read the letter for Jonathan, give you an update on, what I have planned next on the channel. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of 2024. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. See ya.